What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful day. This is an interesting story because a lot of times when you look at what's going on around the world, it's a precursor or it's an indicator of, what's headed towards the United States, especially when you're talking about woke garbage. For example, Canada and the UK still exceedingly more woke than the United States, even though the United States is spiraling down the toilet of woke. You can look at, the UK trying to arrest people, literally arresting people for saying mean things on the internet, making jokes that the people, people find offensive. You're welcome to look up a gentleman called Count Dankula to look more about that. You could look at, Justin Blackface Trudeau and a lot of the policies that they have in Canada. And you're too expensive to fix, so just here's a 50 cents to go in the end yourself machine stuff. And now we have video game companies working with local police to arrest people, fine people for being mean in video games. All this stuff with modern woke video games and stuff like that really makes me want to remind people that there are amazing games from the retro market. And I'm not even saying you have to go all the way back to NES or 8-bit, 16-bit games, but I'm talking about, the Super Nintendo, N64, PlayStation 1, original Xbox games that maybe graphically they don't exactly hold up, but they're just so much better in so many conceivable ways nowadays. But now you have Ubisoft teaming up with the UK police to handle, quote, extreme cases of in-game speech deemed life threatening. Quote, we want to be on the right side of history. Maybe it's because your company was exposed for having, like, every problem under the book that every video game company seems to happen. But let's take a look at the story. After a quick reminder, there's a link in the description to a page I put together with Meta PCs. I put together like a good, better, best, ultimate build. When I'm at home, the build I used is literally Jeremy's ultimate build. But they also do custom builds from the ground up. Laptops, they have financing, they're veteran owned, and they've stuck by the channel through thick and thin. So if you're in the market for a new computer, I'll leave the link in the description. Promo code the quartering. Use my promo code, you'll save too. Now, Ubisoft has announced they are working with the police to track and potentially arrest players for in-game speech when there is a credible threat to life. Now, I don't exactly know who's defining that, and I think we've learned, um, I think we've learned that these things are not well intentioned. They are not meant to actually, save anybody's life, because if they were, maybe they'd work on swatting. No, what this is putting systems in place to catch wrong thinkers and to scare wrong thinkers. Stephen Powell of the BBC reports that Ubisoft has made the deal with Northumbria Police, who operates there in Northeast England and has been in development for a long time, along with special officers who handle, quote, harmful online interactions. Educating Ubisoft's Newcastle Customer Relationship Center, Ubisoft can now escalate, quote, extreme cases to police. Now, I think it's pretty obvious that they're going to have the biggest snowflake, do nothing loser, in charge of this at Ubisoft. So these are, brought to you by the same people that say, if you don't say, if that words are violence, the same people that say, words are actually damaging are now going to be running this. Can't wait. The cases reportedly to include a threat or serious harm. The relevant information then is forwarded to the police, who ultimately decide if they need to act. They act. That's what police do. Though the Newcastle staff can recommend legal action, it is also noted that less than 0.01% of the cases the center dealt with needed police involvement. A handful of cases each month. Okay, so you're going to arrest a handful of people every single month for words they say in a video game? Now, do I think that there are zero scenarios where something maybe need to get escalated? No. I mean, I'm sure there are, somebody doxes you, knows where you live, mentions someone shows up at your house. Yeah, you get police involved. But that's not how this is going to be uh, rolled out or enforced. We all know that. Ubisoft's Andrew Holliday told the BBC that it isn't just a gaming problem, it's an internet problem. Wow, thanks for solving it for us. That's what we need is more government. There's a real appetite to make the whole ecosystem a better place. Who? What we're working on closely with police on is triaging. We look at a case and decide, right, is this one we can deal with in house or is this something we need to pass on? Holliday pondered. He explained that the police will also handle cases that almost surpass the criteria for their involvement. However, this scheme may be extended, of course, far beyond the UK. Here we go. Beyond the UK borders, no matter where the perpetrator lives. Holiday brings up one recent case in Norway, recalling things were said and behaviors were displayed that hit our threshold for intervention. There was a threat to their life or serious harm. We don't know what that threshold is. The agreement with the police meant that after we flagged it, even though it wasn't a UK citizen, they were able to get Norwegian authorities involved. And it was a lot quicker, more efficient, and safer than what they do as private citizens. I told you they'd be rolling this out. Like, of course. So now you're going to have local PD showing up at your house because some snowflake at Ubisoft decided that, I wonder how many of these usernames have like Trump in them or something like that. Like, look, I don't love logging in the Call of Duty and here's some clearly white person calling everyone the N-word. I don't think that's not what I want to hear online. I'm not going to pretend that it doesn't happen because it does, and it's cringe and stupid. And whenever someone does it, I make fun of them. But I'm not trying to stop it. I'm not trying to send police to their house. I just mute somebody if they're annoying. It's like if you play Call of Duty, you log in, there's always one or two people that get muted immediately because they're just dumb or they're a little squeaker saying racist stuff for attention. But like you could just mute them. We already have all of the tools we could possibly need for this. Paul reports that Ubisoft hopes this will spark discussion. Oh yeah, this always watch out for this word because we see it when like Disney had their super racist white fragility article last week or episode get reported on last week. Their director said, "I'm really glad I could spark a conversation." That's not what you wanted to do. That your job is to entertain, not to spark a conversation. All right, go make your lame documentary if you want. Let the kids cartoons be. It says we have millions of players and tens of millions of interactions, so it's daunting, but at the same time, it's very important, which is why we wanted to sign this deal and try to make things right. My guess is somebody probably tried to sue them. Somebody probably tried to sue them, and that this is where we ended up. I mean, early January, police officials are now on Fortnite to monitor hate speech and grooming. Hey, the second one, maybe we'll talk about. Hate speech is not against the law. I mean, but again, a lot of this stuff is in the UK or Europe, but it's coming, my friends. It is absolutely coming. Danish police have taken in-game security to a brand new level by deploying a squad of officers to patrol the internet. They've created a special online unit, Polite's Online Patrol, whatever. Oh, Police Online Patrol. Okay. Their goal is to strengthen their digital presence and allow citizens, in this case players, to engage with dialogue and or conversation with a digital lawkeeper on the internet. Imagine that. Who on earth wants this? A few patrol officers have created accounts in online games such as Fortnite, Minecraft, Counter-Strike. They often play with young people online and moderate games on Twitch as well. This is a special online division that even has its own Discord server. Now, hey, you want to talk about, getting in Minecraft and looking for these creepazoids who are trying to, get pictures from kids or whatever like that? I support that 100%. When you start talking about hate speech and mean words and all this other stuff, I'm 100% out on that. You want to protect the kids? That's cool. You want to, police people's speech online. That is not cool. That is not something that I would support. That's not something that I would ever want a dollar of my tax dollars going towards. And it's absolutely absurd. And I'm sure that it's coming this way. You see this on Spike now. The speech police are coming for gamers. This is the first front line of articles about this, but I promise you it's coming to the United States. It's coming to, a town near you, and it's just not good. None of it's good. I mean, there's absolutely nothing. I don't want freaking cops getting paid to play video games and look for people who say offensive things. You're allowed to say offensive things. You're allowed to. We have all the tools that we could ever possibly need to moderate, speech and interactions online. We don't need cops in there too. It's absolutely absurd. But you know, we just let it happen. There's no real way. It's really nebulous. Like, how do you fight back against it? And it just happens, and then half the country supports it anyway, and so it just keeps going more. The government keeps taking more and more power. It keeps invading more and more of our lives, and there's just seems like no way of stopping it. It's absolutely disgusting. Make sure you check out Meta PCs. The link in the description. Promo code the Quartering. Get a computer. You can play some old retro games on it where they aren't online all the time. That would be nice. And Ubisoft, I don't think I'll be giving you any of my money anytime soon. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you leave a like on it, and we'll talk to you again real soon.